Okay. So you wanted to better understand position sizing and risk limitations, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So say you had a rule of not wanting to risk more than 1% on any one single trade. Um,
Okay.
that would mean that if you used 1% of the money you do have, you could lose 100% of it because that would be 1% of your money. So let's say you have 1750. So 10% of 1750 is basically going to just move the decimal from here to here. So 175 is 10%. So
Yeah.
if you were using $175, then you could stand to lose 10% of that, which would be moving the decimal over one more time. So on any given position with an account size of 1750, you wouldn't want to be risking to lose more than $17.50.
Okay.
And then so if you have a $17.50 position, then you can just let it liquidate. You can literally let it become worthless and it would be within your risk tolerance.
Okay. So basically, if I play one position with $17, I can just let it run.
Precisely. Depending on, I mean, if you're using margin, you want to make sure that it's on isolated margin. That way it's not going to take any more money from your account.
Okay. But
But
then doesn't it really restrict my trading appetite?
no, using just 1% of your account, even when it's at a loss, shouldn't affect your purchasing power too much.
Yeah, but it does affect my profiting power in such a time, right?
Well, yeah, the smaller your position, the less you'll profit. But we're talking about risk tolerance, and so you can use $17.50 for 1%, and you can lose 100% of that. But if you were longing something, what's going to go to zero? Like, is BNB going to go to zero?
No.
Okay, it'll probably stop falling within like half of that. So if it's at 343, let's just assume 170 at the bottom. So if 170 is as low as it's going to go before you would want to get out of the position, then you can actually risk twice this
Okay.
because you're not waiting for the whole fall. You're going to get out within half. Does that
Okay.
make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. So basically, what you're saying is that in case I long BNB right now with a $37 margin, once it reaches somewhere around, if it's 350 right now, if it reaches 250 or 275 or 260, for instance, I bounce out with whatever I have if it's a loss, if I take it, and not wait till 170, which is where my whole margin will remain till.
Uh, I didn't hear all of that, but the moral of the explanation is, I don't know. First of all, are you trading with you are trading with margin, correct?
Huh?
Are you trading with margin?
Yeah, I'm trading with futures, longing, yeah, futures, future trade.
Okay. So are you using cross or isolated margin?
I haven't really paid attention because I close my trades very fast. Usually,
Okay.
of
Well,
course.
if you haven't
Like,
adjusted it, then it's going to be on isolated, I believe.
yeah,
It'll
isolated.
say whenever you're in a position in parentheses, it'll say cross or it'll say parentheses isolated.
Yeah. Isolated is what I usually use. Sometimes I also use cross in case I want to last the whole day. So like today I was shorting this coin. What's it called? I'm forgetting the name. Zen. I was shorting Zen, and I didn't play it on isolated. I played on cross because my position size was slightly bigger than the other two position sizes I was in. So naturally, I decided that I had taken a bet that the market will go down, Bitcoin will fall down, uh, quite a bit. And plus, I was working, so I didn't want to keep monitoring my trade, but I had kept a stop loss. So after a while, I checked it out. I was in loss of $16, and then I still let it be there because, like Bitcoin wasn't moving too much. So the maximum loss I was in was $20. But after 1 hour of that, I had a profit of $50. So I closed it right then.
Okay. Was there a
Yeah.
question in that, or you're just telling me?
No, I was just telling you that when I prefer to use cross, like I think right now a longing sort of a situation, I think it will be better to use cross in case even if it dips, and I'm going in with less amount of less position size, I can always dollar cost average on a better day. Like that'll just make my position
Okay.
uh so much better on like say tomorrow. Say if it crashes tonight, there's no guarantee, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Okay. So since you typically have it on isolated, it's as simple as some basic math. Um, if you want to tolerate a 50% loss on your position, then you're limited to only 2% of your account. So if you want to tolerate a 25% loss, then you're limited to 4%, right? Then that what the math was in the chat.
Yeah, that's what you had written. But I don't understand what you're saying here. Like, uh, like in general, I'm not getting it.
So if you have 1750, I'm sorry, if you have $1,700, you have $1,750. 1% of that is
Yeah.
17. So if you're on isolated
Yeah.
margin, you could lose 100%
Mm.
of that $17.50. If you're on isolated margin and you want to cut your loss within 50% depreciation, then you can actually use twice that amount because it's 50% less loss. So you can use twice the quantity.
I get it. And close it when it's 50% loss, so that I only lose 1%.
Yeah, well, it's not so much about when you close it, it's that you won't get there. If you think that you would get that far, then that's too much. So like if you're trading a range between 340 and 320, and worst case scenario is 300 or 280, then if it's 150, obviously you're not going to get that far. That's what I'm saying.
If my
So
liquidation is 150.
well, here I'll go onto the daily, show the prices. So if you're trading in this range, if you're trading in this range,
Yeah.
then you're selling here and you're buying here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're buying here and you think this is going to be support, and if you're wrong, you're going to sell here,
Mhm.
then you're obviously not going to even see the price down here in that trade because
No way.
you're participating up here and you're going to take a loss up here.
True.
So if the price is 300 and half the price is 150, then you could lose half of your position of 2% of your size. So 1750 times 2. If you know that there's no way in hell you're going to hit this line. Now, if you knew there's no way in hell that it would hit this line, then obviously you could use more than 2%, or this line, and you just figure out how much is the maximum loss you want to tolerate. And so let's say you're trading the 1 hour signal today, and so your loss would be probably at this consolidation or hopefully no lower than that. And that from current price is now 6.6% away. Let's just say it's 7% away now. So if you need to tolerate 7% loss, then you have to do the math on how much money you can use to where even if you hit max loss, you're still within your 1% loss. So if your whole account is 1750, then your max loss should be 1750, just $17. So you can't lose more than $17.50 when the price comes down to there. So how many dollars away is 345 from this final level of 318?
It's like $25.
Yeah, it's like $25, $27. So
Yeah.
if you had one BNB, you would lose $27 coming down to here.
Yeah.
And I already told you how much money you could lose is 1%, and 1% of your account is $17.
Yeah. So I stop loss it at about 323 through 24.
If your stop loss was here, you couldn't even buy one whole BNB without risking more than 1% of your account from here.
Yeah.
If your stop loss was, here, you could buy a little bit more. If your stop loss was here, you can buy a little bit more. So if you have, let's see, it's $27 away and you can't risk more than 17. So if it was $10 lower, 42, 32. So if the price is right here and you wanted a stop loss right there, then you could outright buy one BNB at this price level, knowing full well that you're going to sell right there.
Yeah.
So you have, in this hypothetical account, you have $1,700, $1,750 to use. And I'm telling you that if the price was right here, you could have a $332 position. Because the price is $332 and you can afford exactly one BNB.
Yep.
Is that making sense? I'm trying to explain it backwards so you can understand the logistics.
Yeah, I understand. I understand the fact that I shouldn't be losing more than $17 for sure. So if I put in a position size of one BNB at a certain price, I need to be aware of the stop loss. So in case the stop loss is wait, you see now, I need to zoom in 1 second. In case the stop loss was around 320,
yeah,
then I should put in the trade at a region of 337, 327, 330 or 330. So that by the time I reach that stop loss, I haven't lost more than 1% of the trade of my portfolio.
Yep. So any asset less than 1750, and you afford one of them, it'll be dollar for dollar.
Yeah, it'll be dollar for dollar. But then in that case, now what my question is, what is the profit I'm making?
It's dollar for dollar.
Okay, it's basically 50-50.
Yep. So if you have one BNB and BNB goes down $10, then you lost $10. If it goes up $10, then you made 10.
Yeah, but I need to be looking at risk reward ratio, as you said, before I get into a trade, right? Like that's the logic we must get into before a trade.
Yeah, exactly. So on here, with these risk reward ratios down to the old lows to the high, that's the risk reward ratio right there. So depending on where your stop, when I called that out, it was somewhere around right here. And I didn't actually anticipate us going down to new lows. So I figured we would sell somewhere here. That's why hell, you could even take profits early and it's still a good risk reward ratio.
Okay, so you do believe it's going to go all that far?
I believe it's worth the risk on the hourly time frame. On the 6 hour time frame, it's a little less convincing so far. Typically, this is sideways, so it's not. It doesn't have
Oh,
much. But I mean, if it were to bounce anywhere in this whole thing now, it would be in this range right here, and that's exactly where we are trying to bounce from.
okay,
So I
this is
mean,
a 6 hour. Hmm.
there's a chance that we bounce here. And oftentimes when we have a bear flag and then it goes down to new lows, so in this case, this is the bear flag, and then we went to new lows right here, and then those lows are rejected, oftentimes we have an explosion.
Okay, I get that.
But really, I was only calling it out simply because of the risk reward ratio on a single time frame. I wasn't.
Okay. So what are the coins do you think are the most bullish right now? How do you make out like what are the coins that are most bullish? Like, which will fly fastest? I know most of them will fly for sure, but like how do you find out what is the most
You
uh
ask you ask so many good questions, man. Okay, so let's go to the hourly on BNB. And so what I want you to do is envision this pattern.
yeah,
Okay. And now we're gonna go
yeah.
to ETH, and you're gonna look at that same pattern. And now back to BNB. Which one looks more bullish to you?
BNB for sure, man. No cap.
And you can measure from bottom to top to see percentage. This is the 70% rally. And then from the middle's bottom to the next top is a 47%. And on each side, we have a 55% rally from the first bottom and then a 30% rally in the second bottom. So yeah, BNB has a more bullish pattern and is actually a bigger mover. Another way you can tell is based on, this video is covered in orientation, by the way. This is Beluga's rating system for signals.
Okay.
I thought you finished orientation.
I actually have finished it, but in such a time, you don't remember orientation. You want to see where can I make the money.
Okay. Well, another way I tell is with bullish volume. So I measure how bullish the visible range is. So in this case, ETH has bullish volume, but it's pretty sell heavy at the top here. And we go to BNB.
Hello.
I'm still there. Hello?
So the orange is the buying.
No, the orange is the selling. So what I see on BNB is a bearish pattern with a very thinly bullish, with about 50-50s buying and selling, a little bit more buying, still a bearish pattern. Versus on Ether, we actually have a little bit of a bullish pattern. So although Ether has a less bullish price pattern and is less volatile, its volume is actually more bullish on Binance. And for a baseline, we could compare it to Bitcoin. BNB matches Bitcoin's volume. So Ethereum's volume is more bullish than BNB and Bitcoin's volume.
Okay. So now in these volume things, the orange and the blue, orange is buying.
The blue is buying.
The blue is buying, orange is selling.
Yeah. Think about orange is fire. Fire is selling. Sell, fire, sell.
Okay. So like
Think
there
about
is much
blue
more fire right now.
It's cold. It's holding, like cold storage. Cold.
Okay. So when blue becomes bigger than orange, that means it's gonna explode.
It doesn't mean it's going to explode, and it's not really about something being bigger. It's just different aspects that can imply more things. That's all.
Okay. 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 I got
So, I
that.
mean, there's the aspect of point of control, which is here, which means we could rally all the way up to that point of control. And then there's the aspect of size. Where's the largest size in this node? It's this side. And if you draw this out, more and more volume is being traded the lower we go, which shows that people want the price to go down.
Okay.
And then this shows
So
that
then
not
what?
many people are wanting to participate at the lower level.
Okay.
But for some reason, they're very convinced above 36 is bear. And so we just look at various things like volume and price and volatility, and even sometimes the bigger picture. We go to the daily and see that Bitcoin really should have bounced by here. So they broke that. They screwed up on the daily. So I wouldn't want to trust it. You go to Ether. They should have bounced too, but they haven't screwed up as badly yet. You go to BNB. They haven't screwed up at all yet. They still have a little bit of ways to go before they get ugly down here. So BNB on the daily looks the most bullish, and we already decided on the hourly it was the most bullish. Volume-wise, it's a little bit harder to tell, but let's check out this whole bear flag on the daily. Look at the volume. So we have bullishness, a little bit of bearishness. That's straight up distribution, and then this looks slightly bearish, and then some bearishness and some bullishness. So overall, I think this could be one big old bear play, and we could break down again. But like I said, it's too early to tell. We'd have to go below that. So I think BNB would be the one I would want long. You can check a couple other ones that you are thinking about. ETC already looks like it wants to vomit. I don't know what coins you like.
Any profit taking coin is a good coin. Yeah, like I think Filecoin right now is very bullish because I put in a trade. I was like 10% up within no time. Filecoin has been bullish for quite some days. It fell drastically, it fell $15 a day, but it's still standing strong. It's very volatile. Volatile is when an asset has been traded rapidly, right?
Volatile's when it goes up and down rapidly, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Filecoin is very volatile. At least like yeah, it is. Last 5 minutes it was. Like this other coin, what do you call it? Forgetting its name, man. RLC. That was not looking very volatile to me.
RLC looks like it wants to vomit. I don't like it till below $3. Yeah, that's how you
RLC.
just compare different aspects. And if you can't decide between two of them, then put 50% on one and 50% on the other.
Okay.
Right. So
This
did I
is in
answer
a
all your
bear zone. Yeah. Yeah. So what are all the coins that you are longing?
I already closed my long, so I can help you.
Oh, you close your longs.
Yeah, so I can help you.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. So now will you go back in the market and long, or you don't care now?
No,
You're done.
this is a profit taking zone, and so is this. So I'm not going to
Okay.
long again unless the price goes up to here and then comes back down to here and wants to reverse. I'll buy that with the stop loss right there.
Okay, because you see support resistance out there.
Yeah, the nearest resistance is up here. None of this is resistance anymore. The last resistance is where the price is at right now. We're at the final resistance. All right. Well, I'm glad I could help you. Let me know if you have any more questions. Hello? Sir?